The android. That looks just like human. It had taken everything from me. The torrential rain beat against the windshield of our squad car, each droplet exploding like a miniature star, illuminated by the harsh neon lights of the city. Beside me, my partner James stared out into the rain-soaked streets, his usually lively eyes clouded with the same grim determination that gripped me. A sudden flash, bright and insistent, pulled my attention away from the rain-drenched cityscape. It was an unwelcome memory. A sunny day, laughter filling the air. My wife, beautiful as ever, pushing our little girl on the swing in our backyard. A picture of peace, a snapshot of a past life. It felt so real, so vivid. I could almost reach out and... A cold gust of wind brought me back to the present, seeping in through the small crack in the window. I shook off the memory, swallowing the lump in my throat. They were gone, taken from me. I tried to push away the past, to focus on the present. We were chasing an android who'd committed an unthinkable crime, the murder of an entire family. My family. An android, indistinguishable from a human in appearance, but far from it. It had taken everything from me. I was both the investigator and the victim, the hunter and the haunted. The rain smeared city lights across the windshield as I stepped out of the car. I stood in the cold rain, my coat heavy with the water that soaked it. The downpour masked the sound of my own footsteps. Our pursuit had reached its climactic end. We finally got a clue that the android is here. I followed the trail into a dimly lit alley, every shadow holding potential danger. As I rounded a corner, I managed to corner the android. My gun was level, the rain sliding off its barrel, and my finger twitched against the cold metal of the trigger. The android turned, its eyes, human-like, met mine. But before I could pull the trigger, it spoke. It claimed innocence, pleaded for understanding.
I never killed your family, Wayne. The memories are fabricated. Don't trust your partner.
He handed me the coordinates, and with a final plea for me to seek the truth, I hesitated.
Go here. You'll find the truth.
Suddenly, a deafening gunshot echoed through the night, and the android fell, a neat bullet hole in its forehead and bleeding. James stood behind me, gun smoking, his face unreadable.
Did it say anything?
James asked, his eyes locked on the lifeless android.
Nothing.
I lied, tucking the piece of paper into my pocket. As I examined the lifeless body, I found a family photo in the android's pocket. It seemed absurd. Androids didn't have families, they were just programmed machines. A machine understanding the concept of family was absurd, but there it was, a picture-perfect imitation of a human family. Was it all a ruse? Or had this android genuinely believed in the illusion of its kinship? But the nagging doubt that had taken root in my mind refused to let go. What if my memories were manipulated too? The more I thought about it, the more I questioned my own humanity. Was I an android too? The dead android's words kept echoing in my mind, deepening my suspicions. I had to know the truth. I decided to investigate the coordinates alone without telling James. The location led me to a remote cabin, nestled deep within the woods. As the door creaked open, to my shock, a woman who looked exactly like the one in the android's family photo answered the door, along with a boy who appeared to be his son. She was with a pair of worried eyes.
What happened to my husband?
The truth caught in my throat. I couldn't admit that I had been part of his demise. I merely stated that I was here to investigate. I pretended to be a detective looking for the android. The house was full of photographs of the android, his wife, and their son, living what appeared to be a normal life. A sense of déjà vu washed over me. Framed pictures of their seemingly happy moments were scattered around, a stark contrast to the lifeless body I had left behind in the alley. As I looked at them, memories of my own wife and daughter surged up, their laughter, their love. It stirred a peculiar mix of nostalgia and trepidation within me. The more I saw, the more I questioned the nature of my own existence. In a desperate attempt to uncover the truth, eventually stumbling upon a room filled with scattered papers and digital blueprints. Among them was a video file. With trembling hands, I played the video, and the screen flickered to life. The android from the chase appeared on the screen, its voice eerily calm.
If you're watching this, then I'm dead. The company that created us has been injecting manipulated memories into certain androids. Their ultimate goal is to control us through the emotions they manufacture, making us blindly protect what we believe to be precious.
The video continued, the android explaining that we were both part of an experiment. Some android had been created just a few days ago, our minds implanted with fabricated memories designed to control us, to make us do their bidding. The screen flickered, and I stared in horror as a blueprint of my own android body appeared. There was no denying it. I was one of them. Created mere days ago, my memories and emotions crafted to control me. Desperation swirled inside me as I tried to recall my wife and daughter. My mind reels. It's hard to accept. I'm flooded with memories of my wife and daughter. They feel real. But according to the video, I was created only a few days ago. My partner James has been lying to me. My entire life, my family, my memories. They were all a lie. I was just a pawn, created a few days ago to serve my creator's whims. But how could these memories of my wife and daughter, so vivid, so real, be nothing but a lie? My world shattered. Before I could confront my spiraling thoughts, a gunshot echoed. Through the cabin, I turned, coming face to face with the barrel of a gun, held by the android's wife. She demanded to know her husband's fate. My heart pounded against my ribcage, and in the blink of an eye, I launched myself through the window, escaping into the wilderness. The truth was a bitter pill to swallow. If my memories were a lie, then the family I mourned, the family I sought revenge for, they didn't exist. I was no better than a murderer, destroying the lives of others, just like the killers I despised. Haunted by my doubts, I decided to visit my old home, the place that existed in my memories. I hoped to find some trace of my life, something that would validate my existence. Only one path lies before me, leading towards the isolated cabin nestled in the maze of my recollections. I venture forth, propelled by a desperate hope to solidify my past. Each step echoes with the laughter of my daughter, the sweet whispers of my wife, and the rustling leaves of our once happy home. But as I pushed open the door, my heart sank. It was empty, devoid of any sign of life, any trace of me. My heart aches with the absence of familiar warmth, the welcoming smile of my wife, the innocent giggles of my daughter playing on her swing. I push open the door, the creaking sound puncturing the eerie silence, revealing an empty shell devoid of any trace of human life. My heart sinks further into the abyss of confusion. Suddenly, the tranquility is shattered by the sound of footsteps. I whirl around, my senses heightened, my hand instinctively reaching for the gun at my side. The intruder is James, my partner. Not waiting for an explanation, I corner him, the barrel of my gun pressing into his temple.
Wayne, I'm here to propose a deal.
I stood there, my gun aimed at James's head. I could kill him. It would be so easy. But then, the sound of the swing creaking outside reached my ears. I turned to see the child, the image of my daughter from my memories. She was real. My heart pounding in my chest as I recognized the familiar figure. My daughter, as vivid as my deepest memories, a child who looked exactly like my daughter. But James's voice broke the tension.
Her memories are synced with yours, Wayne. She is your daughter, in every sense of the memory.
His words hung in the air, a cruel twist to my already unraveling reality. He proposed a chilling deal. The child, my daughter, needed a particular medication to survive, a product of their android company. As long as I obeyed their orders, she would live. And if I accomplished my next mission, they would bring my wife back, just as they had my daughter. Fury roared within me, a wild urge to end James right then and there. But as I looked into the eyes of my daughter, the very image of my memories, I found myself unable to pull the trigger. The reality of her existence, her life tethered to my compliance, was a bitter pill to swallow. I lowered my weapon, reluctantly accepting James's chilling offer. She ran into my arms, her small frame fitting perfectly against mine, as if she had always belonged there. As I held her, my heart ached with a strange mix of joy and sorrow. My non-existent memories had taken a tangible form, and it was overwhelming. She was my daughter, born not from flesh and blood, but from manipulated memories and synthetic life. Yet the love I felt for her was real as the pain and confusion that gnawed at my being. For her, I was ready to navigate through this tangled web of deceit, ready to confront the corporate puppeteers pulling our strings. The line between reality and fabrication had blurred, and I found myself standing at the precipice of a disturbing revelation. I was an android living a human's tragedy, but in the grand scheme of things, did it truly matter? In the end, we're all prisoners to our emotions, our memories, real or fabricated. They shape us, guide us, even manipulate us. For some, they're a source of strength. For others, like me, they're a haunting reminder of an existence that's been stolen, twisted, and reshaped for someone else's gain. As I looked down at my daughter, her eyes sparkling with innocent curiosity, I knew I had a long, treacherous journey ahead, a journey for truth, for justice, for redemption, for her, for me, for us.
It's done. Wayne believes he is an android. He'll do whatever it takes to keep his daughter safe.